Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. We're going to make it official here. Today, I am officially announcing as a candidate for the 96th Legislative District, where I am the incumbent. And so, thanks for coming out to help with this. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm State Representative Mike Sturla, and I have been the representative in the 96th District, which for years was basically the city of Lancaster, as a result, finally, of reapportionment that is fair throughout the state of Pennsylvania. We will now have, in the 96th District, part of Manheim Township, all of East Petersburg, and a portion of the city, about half the city of Lancaster. And I say for the first time in decades because the Republican majority has basically gerrymandered their way into the majority for years. And this year, the reapportionment was done in a fair and equitable way. And there were actually the recent vote that occurred yesterday on the Friday afternoon. They voted 4-1 in favor of the final map, so we believe that that will be upheld in the Supreme Court. The only objection was from the Republican House leader, who specifically pointed out that he thought it probably wasn't fair because, after all, the incumbent in Lancaster would be able to pick up a second Democratic seat in Lancaster County. That, to me, was a sort of badge of honor that I'll gladly wear because I believe we will be able to pick up that second seat in Lancaster County. But I'm here today to talk about the things that we need to be working on and the things that I've done to date. We have to look at equitable and affordable education. I've been a member of the Basic Education Funding Commission and the Special Ed Funding Commission. We established a fair funding formula. We went from a state that was one of only 2 states in the nation that did not have a fair funding formula, and we are now considered one of the better funding formulas in the nation. The only problem is we don't fund it. Only about 15% of the dollars that we put into education go through that fair funding formula. This year, however, as a result of surpluses that we have because of the strong economy, we're going to actually put some significant dollars in. And if we can, I believe, at least the people I've been negotiating with, we will put it in a way that it helps all districts, but also particularly helps the districts that have been underfunded for years. And so, we're working on that. It's something that we still need to continue to work on, but we'll be able to speed that process up a little bit this year. Also, the other thing that affects the people in the 96th District, as well as the rest of the state, is climate change, and in particular, stormwater issues. That is an issue that goes across, boundaries of municipalities. It goes across party lines. When your house is being flooded, when things aren't working well with the stormwater, everybody gets upset. So we're looking at trying to get funding for better stormwater issues and the way we handle stormwater in the state of Pennsylvania. In terms of economic development and job training, anybody that was around when I first took office in the 96th Legislative District, there was 1 million square feet of vacant space in downtown Lancaster. Today, we get written up in the New York Times as a wonderful city to come visit, and it's a thriving city. Those kinds of things didn't happen by accident. There was a lot of projects that went into that. And part of that was the quality of life, whether it was the Fulton Opera House or the Ware Center or funding that I recently got for the Lancaster Public Library. Those kinds of things are what makes people want to come here. Then there's transportation is an issue also. We've been able to, over the past few decades, get new bridges coming across the railroad tracks into Lancaster. We've repaved some of the streets. We rebuilt Route 30 around the city, the bypass. And coming up in the next year or two, we're going to put a new interchange in out where 222 and 30 come together because that creates gridlock every day. And so that problem will be alleviated in the very near future. In terms of affordable housing, that's an issue for people also. And I've worked to make sure that we get funding for affordable housing. Last year, we were able to get an additional $50 million for PHFA to do housing. There's been a lot of senior housing going on, which is of particular interest to seniors that are worried about their homes and in some cases have sort of grown out of their homes. They may have had, 4 kids and now it's down to 2 empty nesters and they've got a lot of extra bedrooms. They want a safe, quality place to move to. In terms of health care, we want to make sure it's affordable and accessible. I was one of the original co-sponsors of the Children's Health Insurance Plan. That was the first one in the nation, and it set the tone for the rest of the nation to allow children to make sure that we get them adequate health care, because we know that that's extremely important. I'm a co-sponsor on the Pharmaceutical Assistance Contract for the Elderly, or PACE as it's known, and have worked to expand that, and we've been successful in doing that to help seniors with their prescription costs. And then, there's also the issue of safety and security in terms of making sure that our fire departments and our police departments have what they need to do their job. And finally, one of the things that I think we need to do is combat extremism. And I say that on both ends of the spectrum. We have started to move over the time that I've been in office to see where people now, it's almost a tribalistic kind of thing. You're either on the far left or you're on the far right. That really doesn't get anything done. It gets a lot of people shooting at each other. It gets a lot of rhetoric, but it doesn't really get much accomplished. And I believe that over the years I've been able to work with Republican mayors, Republican governors, Republican legislatures, as well as Democrats, to make sure that we get this done in a way that benefits the people of Lancaster. So that's what I hope to be able to do, and I'm not averse to working hard to make sure that it happens. I talk a little bit about the history of where I came from. I started with a vegetable stand with my brother and sister when I was 9 years old, selling vegetables by the side of the road and planting our side yard with a garden. And then I went to work in a restaurant and became a dishwasher, and then finally a cook in the restaurant. And then I went on to start 2 companies, one with my brother, which was a construction company, and the other one with some partners to do a architecture and design firm. So I know what it's like to meet a payroll and to have the responsibility for not only yourself, but those people that work for you and work to try and create a great product. And so with that, I hope that I can gain people's support and look forward to working for the citizens of the new 96th Legislative District. So thank you all.